Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. La Liga Giants weighing up a potential move for 30-year-old Arsenal ace. Thomas Partey continues to be linked with a move away from Arsenal. The 30-year-old Ghana international has not been a regular starter for the Premier League club this season, and he has played a total of 251 minutes in the league. Arsenal could look to cash on him at the end of the season, and a report from Marca claims that Barcelona are keeping tabs on his situation. The Spanish Giants could certainly use more quality and depth in the defensive midfield department, and the 30-year-old could prove to be a useful short-term acquisition if they can sign him for a reasonable price. Partey has played in La Liga before with Atletico Madrid, and the opportunity to join Barcelona could be an attractive proposition for him, especially if Arsenal are prepared to cash in on the player. It will be interesting to see how the situation develops over the next few months. The Gunners are reportedly keeping tabs on the Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi as a potential alternative. Arsenal will have to replace Partey adequately if they decide to sell him in the summer. They need to bring in a reliable partner for Declan Rice. Meanwhile, the 30-year-old midfielder will have until the end of the season to prove his doubters wrong and regain his place in the starting lineup. It will be interesting to see if he can convince Mikel Arteta to give him another opportunity at Arsenal. Arsenal now keen to offload £100,000 a week player Mikel Arteta really admires. According to Football.London, Galatasaray and Besiktas are interested in signing Cedric Soares from Arsenal in the final days of the January transfer window. Besiktas have already held talks with Arsenal over a permanent deal for Soares, who is open to a move to the Turkish League. Galatasaray are keen on the fullback as well. They want Soares as a potential replacement for Fletcher Boyd, who is on his way to Bayern München. Football.London has reported that Arsenal are open to offloading the £100,000 a week Portuguese right-back, especially now that Thomas Partey is going to return. The Ghana international is a defensive midfielder by trade, but he has been playing as a right-back for Arsenal this season. The report has noted that Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has been an admirer of Cedric's professional approach during the last few months, when he has hardly played, and may be reluctant to lose him, with Yurian Timber and Takehiro Tomiyasu's absence limiting numbers in the Gunners' backline. The 32-year-old has played 3 minutes in the Carabao Cup and has played 62 minutes in the UEFA Champions League for Arsenal this season. In my opinion, Arsenal should sell Cedric Soares this month. I do not see any point in the Gunners keeping the fullback. Soares is a peripheral figure in the Arsenal squad. I do not think that Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is ever going to make him a regular in the starting lineup. I think that if the Gunners are able to get any sort of transfer fee for Soares, then they should just let him go. Emile Smith Rowe recovery could see Mikel Arteta offload £30 million Arsenal midfielder. According to Football Transfers, Monaco and another club in Ligue 1 are interested in signing Fabio Vieira from Arsenal in the final days of the January transfer window. Vieira has had injury problems in recent times for Arsenal, but he could be back for the Gunners' Premier League match against Nottingham Forest next week. Football Transfers has reported that Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta could decide to send the 23-year-old attacking midfielder out on loan this month. The report has noted the return to full fitness of Arsenal fan favourite Emile Smith Rowe and the signing of Kai Havertz from Chelsea in the summer of 2023 as the two factors which could lead to Arsenal offloading Vieira in the January transfer window. Football Transfers has added that Arsenal believe that the 23-year-old, who cost them an initial £30 million in transfer fees, could have a big future ahead of him once he manages to find more consistency, and a loan move would be the ideal next step for his development. In my opinion, Arsenal attacking midfielder Fabio Vieira does not have a long-term future at the club. I do not think that the 23-year-old is going to establish himself in the starting lineup under manager Mikel Arteta. Martin Odegaard is the playmaker in chief for the Gunners, who also have Emile Smith Rowe in their squad. Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli are the two regular wings. Leandro Trossard does well when he plays, when fit and available. Vieira is a squad player for Arsenal, and I do not see that changing even if he went out on loan to Monaco, did well in the second half of the season, and came back a better player. Vieira has made 30 appearances in the Premier League so far in his career. He has scored 2 goals and given 4 assists in those games. Club will not sell their incredible striker to Arsenal in January. According to journalist Dean Jones in Sports Lens, Newcastle United have no plans to sell Alexander Isak anytime soon. Jones has reported that although Newcastle are open to selling players who are not so integral to the long-term future, the Magpies consider midfielder Bruno Guimaraes and Sweden international striker Isak key figures in the team for the future. Arsenal have been linked with Isak. Earlier this month, Football Transfers reported that the North London club are huge admirers of Isak and are expressing a keen interest in the 24-year-old. With Callum Wilson linked with moves away from Newcastle United in the January transfer window, there is no way that manager Eddie Howe will be willing to lose Alexander Isak in the middle of the season. I do not think that Arsenal will be able to sign the 24-year-old in the final days of the January transfer window, but a move could happen in the summer of 2024. If Arsenal win the Premier League title and make a big offer for Isak in the summer of 2024, the striker himself could be tempted to make the move to the North London club. As big as Newcastle may be as a club, even under the ownership of Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, they are not at the level to stop players such as Isak from leaving for other top teams. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has previously described the Swede as an incredible striker. Isak has made 38 appearances in the Premier League so far in his career. The striker has scored 20 goals and given 1 assist in those games. Unai Emery now wants to sign £34 million striker who Arsenal were planning to bid for. According to Tutto Juve, Arsenal and Aston Villa are among the clubs who are interested in signing Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna in the January transfer window. The report in the Italian news outlet has claimed that Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United and Juventus are also keen on Zirkzee. The 22-year-old Dutch striker has a release clause of €40 million in his contract at Bologna. Earlier this week, La Gazzetta dello Sport reported that Arsenal are determined to sign Zirkzee and have set aside €50 million for a summer bid for the striker. In my opinion, if Arsenal think that Joshua Zirkzee is a striker who will help them, then they should bid for him now. I do not see any point in Arsenal, who are aiming to win the Premier League title this season, waiting until the summer of 2024 to get a deal done now. After all, there is stiff competition for his signature. Yes, I understand that there are financial fair play issues to tackle, but there is always a loan deal with an obligation to make it permanent on the table. Zirkzee has made 18 starts and 1 substitute appearance in Serie A for Bologna this season. He has scored 7 goals and given 2 assists in those games. The young striker scored 2 goals and gave 2 assists in 5 starts and 14 substitute appearances in Serie A last season. Arsenal set sights on young number 10, who is very fast and very strong technically. Arsenal have reportedly set their sights on one of Scotland's best young talents. The Gunners are tracking Aberdeen Academy midfielder Fletcher Boyd, according to the Daily Record. as well as Arsenal, fellow Premier League club Aston Villa are apparently in pursuit of the 16-year-old. Arsenal boast an impressive academy, with many top talents coming through the ranks at Hale End in recent years. Meanwhile, Boyd is regarded as one of the finest talents at Cormac Park, according to the Scottish outlet. He penned a full-time contract at Aberdeen and earned promotion to the Dons under-18s last summer. The official club website wrote about Boyd and the other talents who joined the under-18s development group ahead of the 23-24 season the following. He is a player who has played up one or two age groups regularly during his time at the academy. He can play up front or as an attacking midfielder and is very fast, so can be equally effective in the wide areas or through the middle. It's his impact in the final third that is key. Fletcher is very strong technically, and if he continues to develop other areas of his game within the full-time environment, he could have a very bright future ahead of him. An exciting prospect who is involved in the Scotland setup. Arsenal's Hale End Academy has produced plenty of top talents over the years. Obviously, Bukayo Saka is the standout player, now a superstar for Arsenal and England, but you have others who are in the Gunners squad or are having solid professional careers elsewhere. Boyd looks like he'd be a great candidate for the Arsenal Academy, so let's see whether the Gunners can intensify their interest and look to convince him to join with the promise of a solid pathway to the first team. Mikel Arteta has now privately spoken to £51 million player. He is ready to join Arsenal. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has held direct talks with Real Sociedad star Martin Zubimendi over a move in the summer. The Gunners, like many other clubs, have been really quiet in this month's transfer window. That will definitely not be the case in 6 months, and Zubimendi is reportedly a big target for Arsenal. Martin Zubimendi has been linked with a move to Arsenal for about a year now. The Real Sociedad midfielder has been immense in La Liga. He is among the best in his position in Spain, and it has always seemed like it's only a matter of time before he would move to a bigger club. Arsenal have been strongly linked with a move to sign Zubimendi, and the Spaniard can be bought by triggering his release clause, which has been set at just over £51 million. Bill's Bayern Insider podcast shared some details on Zubimendi this week. They claim that Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has already spoken to the midfielder and he is open to the idea of moving to the Emirates in the summer. Christian Falk, who is one of the members of the podcast, later claimed that Bayern München, who also won Zubimendi, are now afraid of Arsenal, who are going to sign him. It's not too big a surprise that Arsenal are looking to strengthen their midfield. Declan Rice is the Gunners' main man in the middle of the park, but Jorginho, Thomas Partey and El Neni are all on the wrong side of 30 and could leave the club in the summer. A new midfielder, someone who can play with or instead of Rice, has to be brought in at the end of the season, and Zubimendi is a great shoot. The Spaniard is fantastic on the ball, great without it, and he fits Mikel Arteta's style of football perfectly. He has all the attributes to succeed in this Arsenal team, and we really think he would be a great signing if the Gunners can get him. Almost impossible for Chelsea and Arsenal linked 329 goal ace to join, says Romano. It's no secret that both Arsenal and Chelsea are in the market for a proven goal scorer. The London rivals, whilst not necessarily struggling in front of goal, would still benefit from an out-and-out striker whose only concern is putting the ball in the back of the net. Of course, such players are few and far between, and those that sometimes do become available are prohibitive in terms of transfer fee or salary package. The latter issue appears to be what's stalling any deal to bring Karim Benzema back to Europe, with the 329-goal Frenchman set to remain at Saudi Pro League outfit Al Ittihad. Romano said in his exclusive daily briefing for Count Offside the following: "Nothing has changed so far regards Karim Benzema. It's almost impossible to bring him back to Europe at this stage. The only way is a very big pay cut, and this is currently not happening. Also, the Saudi League bosses absolutely want Benzema to stay in Saudi and not leave in January after just 6 months. It's all quiet now, so let's see. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.